Hi and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Today I'm going to be making this beautiful festive Christmas notebook. It looks beautiful and it's super fun and easy to make. It has lots of pockets and lots of space for writing. It would also make a really great sketchbook. You'll find details of the kits that I'm using today in the description box below this video. These are just a few of the pages from the kit I'll be using today. A slight print error caused lines down some of the printouts, but that's perfectly fine for this project. I really want a worn vintage feel rather than a perfect feel. I'm starting by cutting out pieces for the covers of my notebook. These are the pockets for the front and the back covers. I'm actually going to be using two different shaped pockets for my covers. You'll hardly be able to see the pockets on the finished notebooks, so if you're somebody who struggles with cutting out accurately, don't worry too much. I love the patterned papers on this kit. They have a real worn feel to them. So now I have decorative elements, pockets and back pieces. These will form the basis of my notebook. I also need lots of different pieces of Christmas ephemera for this project. As the main colour theme is going to be red, I've just got to include Santa. These advent tags are just beautiful. They're going to add a lovely vintage feel to my notebook covers. If you want to create something similar, don't feel that you have to buy digital kits. You could use old Christmas cards or images from magazines. Also, lots of creators provide free digitals this time of year. I have plenty available on my website. I'll provide the link in the description below. I'm going to start by sticking my front and back cover pieces to thin card. But first I'm removing these tabs as we don't need them for this project. This piece will become the front of my notebook. This lighter paper will be perfect for the back of my notebook. Again, I'm just going to remove the tab. I'm going to use this glue stick and add plenty of glue to the back. Now notice I'm gluing both pieces to the edges, to the outer edges of my card. I'm just pressing down, making sure that it's securely glued down. I'm now going to cut my card in half. I just eyeballed this, but you should probably measure before you start cutting. Now it's important there's some extra card on the spine edge. This will allow me to later add the spine to my book cover. You'll see later why this is necessary. Now this is the important part of my notebook. I'm going to add pockets to both the front and the back covers. Now for the back pocket, I need to score and fold the tabs. I now need to add plenty of glue to the tabs. This will ensure the pocket stays securely in place. I really love the curved top to this pocket. It's a shame that when I'm finished you won't actually see much of it. I just had to give the pocket a quick try. Because of the tabs, it's actually quite deep, and I think I'll be able to fit a few journaling cards in there. Now I actually want the front pocket to lie flat on top of the back pocket, so I've decided that I'm going to remove the tabs. I don't want this second pocket to be too high up, so I am going to have to cut a little bit off the bottom. That's perfect. For this front pocket, I'm using a thin line of strong glue to attach it to the back pocket. And now I'm going to repeat the process for the back cover. Although this time I'm going to start by cutting off the tabs for the front pocket. And now I'm going to score and fold the tabs for the back pocket. Here you can see when my printer wasn't working properly. But as this pocket will be virtually hidden, I'm not too worried. I've decided I'm just going to ink around some of the edges of these pieces. It always helps to just add that extra vintage touch. I'll probably go back and ink the front cover as well. Again, I'm adding plenty of glue to the tabs of the back pocket. I've decided I'm going to glue this pocket higher up on the back cover, so there's no need to trim the front pocket. I love how this is starting to look. Once I've finished, you'll only see little peaks of these patterned papers. Again, I'm using a thin line of strong glue to attach the front pocket. I'm doing this because I don't really want to reduce the inside size of the pocket too much. And there we have it, another double pocket. Time for a quick check of the pockets. Perfect. And I now have a front and a back cover for my notebook. The next step is to attach the covers and create a spine for my notebook. This is why I needed that extra bit of card on the spine edges of my covers. Now, red velvet ribbon felt like a good festive choice for the spine. I'm gluing it first to the edge of the front cover, and then I'm gluing it to the edge of the back cover. I'm just making sure it's firmly glued in place. This is going to be so festive. And there we have it. That's my notebook structure basically made. And it's so easy to make. I think this velvet ribbon was a perfect choice for the spine. I now just need to trim off the excess. Now here I have several sheets of paper which I'm going to use for the inside pages of my notebook. Now I'm just going to tear them down to size. This will give a really good rough edge to my pages. Again, I'm going for an old, worn, aged feel rather than perfection. I'm now just going to fold the stack of papers in half. Because I'm using ribbon, the spine of my notebook is very flexible, but actually quite strong. So I don't need to worry about reinforcing the spine. And adding the paper will give the notebook a bit more structural integrity. Now I'm simply adding a piece of twine around the papers and the spine. This will hold my notebook together and will also make it look a lot more Christmassy. And there you go, I now have my basic notebook. This is the fun bit. I now get to decorate the covers. Now the idea here is to add as much ephemera as possible. I'm not sure it's possible to actually overdo it. I'm just layering up lots of different pieces. Now I need to make sure that I can still access the pockets easily. Notice how they've almost disappeared. I'm just experimenting a bit here with the layout. Since I'm happy with my layout, I can now start gluing everything in place. Santa definitely deserves pride of place right in the centre, I think. I'm adding lots of glue just to make sure that he sticks down nice and securely. However, I may have just glued him over the top of the front pocket, so make sure not to glue over the pocket openings. I've just pulled him forward a little bit, he'll be fine now. Yep, I can still use the pocket. Now to glue down the rest of my pieces. I'm now going to add my journaling cards into the pockets. As I've just used twine to attach my pages to the cover, I can easily slide the pages in and out. I'll certainly be adding more pages as I need them. I'm now going to decorate the back cover. Again, I'm using one of these beautiful advent tags. I've left things in the pockets this time just to make sure that I don't glue anything over the openings. Now I'm not sure I'm going to glue everything down. I might just use a paper clip just to attach the bauble to the back of my notebook. It is fun just to add a few festive words into your Christmas projects. And that's it. One notebook ready to write in. How great does that look? I hope you've enjoyed this Christmas crafting project. I'll see you in the next video.